Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Cang-Toys CY-MINI06 Rhimini. You can see him there. Well, I'm pulling him off to the side. We're going to look at the box real quick, and yep, it is once again a kind of shiny box, so it's kind of hard to see in these lighting. But you can see, yeah, his robot mode and alt mode there, his name and designation, Cang-Toys logo, and age is 15 up because it's not for children. On the top, you have a bunch of the QR codes and copyrights and warnings and barcode there. On the bottom, you have CY-MINI06 Rhimini and the sticker. You have the same one there, same there. And the back, of course, you have once again the product, same exact product size to the front, a little holographic sticker there and everything, and there you go. Also, once again, I want to point out foam and the code. It also includes, of course, instructions, which are mostly helpful, although there's a couple spots where it's a little nebulous, I would say. Actually, particularly whenever they show rotations, it's always nebulous. He also came with this thing, which apparently is only useful if you get the Masterpiece scale version and this version and you live in China. It's like some sort of contest or something, I'm not sure, but yeah. Useless for me. Useless for probably most of you. Anyway, Rhimini, you can see there. He is, well, their version Headstrong. You see him there? Nice little sculpting there. You got the, and also and lots of detailing too. You got the silver face, silver eyes there, and the gold face and the red helmet. It is weird. It says light piping, but like there's no way for it to work. So I'm not sure what that was about. You see, you got red with some silver tempographs. You got that, Mini06, like this, that little thing, and the little rhino symbols, and you got the gold and silver there, and again, more tampographing, and like all over the place, you got tampographing, little tiny tampographs, which are just really impressive looking. All that stuff, you got bits more gold and silver down there. It looks like almost like pistons right here. More tampographs, bit of a backpack, but nothing too serious. You got his rhino head there, which traditionally is a, helmet, but no, not here. And yeah, you got filled in, everything's nice and filled in, and there you go. That's a nice close-up. Yeah. Generally, bring this down just a bit. Generally, he's a pretty good figure. I like him. I think of the ones I have so far, he is I think the best one overall, just because he doesn't have some of this. He's got a nice solid transformation without being too a little more complicated like Landon. That means he's a little weird because it's not that it's hard to transform, it's that hard to understand. It's hard to sometimes get to cooperate. There's a couple things here that I had to fix though, but not huge, nothing too serious. Yeah, overall, it's a very nice robot, very stylized. I thought it was going to be just straight, fairly straightforward remolding of a Land Mini, but no, it's pretty much his own thing, which is nice. And of course, he's got some accessories, namely the sword, which is actually the same one as Land Minis, and the gun, which is also the same as Land Minis. Those are identical. To the point of I'm not even sure these are actually Rhiminis or Land Minis. I might have swapped them at some point and not realized it, but it's not a huge deal because they're identical anyway. Yeah, this pegs in. Just pegs in, I say, as I just work the hand right out of its socket. Jeez. Never had that happen before. Right, they never had that happen before, jeez. Yeah, it's supposed to peg in, and it does. It's just a tight fit. So yeah, it's a bit of a tight fit. So be careful with that socket there. I did not realize that was a thing that could happen that easily. Yeah, you can hold his weapons, no problem. Pretty straightforward that. He also has the foot, which is the same one that came with Land Mini. And again, just like Land Mini, you can also do this, untap these. Untap this little ring on the bottom. Bring it up and extend it out and up, and there you go. Now you have a little stand, which you can use, use this to get around his waist or whatever. Although some of it would be a pain in the butt because, yep, get that all kind of clamped around, and there you go. Now you got to have a flight stand or whatever, posing stand. But yeah, he says it comes with a stand. So there you go on that front. With his backpack, you kind of have to get it out of the way for it to work at all because, well, yeah. So, yep. That's the sand, which, again, it's pretty cool that they do that. I'm going to go ahead and transform back now. pretty straightforward. There you go. Put that off the side. We'll come on back to that later. Yeah, pretty cool that that's the thing. Opposability, his head is on a ball joint, so you got left and right. Left and right, up and down. Get this out of the way real quick. Up and down. Lots of waggle. This is right here, so it's going to be a little in the way for posing, but, you know, just easy just get it out of the way real quick. You can also kind of, I guess, helmet, sort of, maybe, like the old toy, but it looks a little weird. Shoulders, so, you know, full 360 right there. You got outward right here. You know, this also gets out of the way really easily. You got a bicep sole. You do have a double jointed elbow. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but you get a double jointed elbow. Right there. The hands do swivel. You can see that. Sword makes it help. It helps make it you see it. The waist, of course, can swivel. The backpack mostly gets out of the way, of course, as long as you're not accidentally squeezing it down. The waist backpack's not in the way at all. There is an ab crunch, about that far. Hips, you got hip skirts, so you know those go forward. These go out. The side ones are on ball joints, so you got that much forward. You got that much back. You got that much outward before things start banging into each other. You have a thigh swivel right here, and also the hips are on ball joints, so that helps a little bit more. You have a double jointed knee, so they get full curl. Down here at the feet, you do have technically ball joints. You do have tilts, although they kind of, again, sculpting bang into each other. Tilting, you have side to side. You have a little bit of up and down. This toe is on a separate hinge, so you can slide it forward and back and tilt it up and down. And yeah, the sliding forward and back is mostly for transformation, but you can use it. But I like to have it extended out for foot mode, or the foot for the robot mode. This makes it a little better looking, in my opinion. So yeah. That's Rhimini. It's robot mode. Articulation all looks great. Poses great. Just really nice, stylized robot. Of course, he's got his buddy still. Here's Rhimini and Landmini. So yep. Look good. They look great together so far. Again, you can see the subtles, like, you know, a lot of the same color schemes, but, you know, different amounts and placements and everything. He's mostly orange. He's mostly red. He's actually kind of a solid mix. He's mostly orange. All these in between these two, like he's an orange red. That's red. Yeah, sort of thing. But it looks pretty good. There you go. Now, transformation. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not as complicated as Landmini, but it's more complicated than Rhimini. Yeah, go get the head and get these weapons out, and hopefully don't pull the hands off in the process. Get the weapons out of the way. As far as I can tell, also there's no real storage place in alt mode, so that's kind of stinks, but whatever. So first things first is doing with the fist. What you want to do here is open up these flaps right here, rotate the fist inward. This will also drag the hoof out. Close that up over the fist, straighten out the hoof, rotate here at the bicep, rotate the hoof, bring it forward like that, and then go ahead and bring that forward like that, and that's one arm done. Same thing on this side. Open up this panel, rotate the fist in, close up the panel, bring the hoof back down, rotate it around and bring it that way, and rotate here at the bicep, and then bring it up at the shoulder. Oh, by the way, yeah, the shoulder pad itself can move like that too. So, forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's the arms done. Now here at the head, this is weird because it doesn't come like this, which is these little panels are actually supposed to go under the head, and they don't really tell you that very well because it just kind of at least mine came with the panels out. But yeah, you want to kind of tilt the head to one side and get your finger underneath and get a panel out, and then tilt to the other side and do the same thing. Get this panel out like that. And then go ahead and bring this forward. This whole thing, hinges forward like this. There's a hinge here. What you want to go ahead and do is bring it back on this hinge, rotate the head around, and then fold it back like that. And then rotate the whole thing around. This will come up over this like that, and then the head will go down into here. You collapse that in like that. And these parts where there's little holes on the sides of the combiner bracket peg thing, and then you just bring those in and tab those in like that. That holds it all into place. You go ahead and here's and bring this down. I want to bring this gold panel out, and for me it's easiest if I kind of poke it out through that way first a little bit, then bring it out. That kind of fills that in. Yeah, bring the head down over this. Make sure the panel's down. Doesn't really tab at anything. It just kind of is a cover of sorts. right there. You go ahead right here, bang the back here the backpack. You go ahead and lift it up like this. Unfold the gold pieces right here. Unfold those like that. Bring this out and bring out the tail as well, like that. And at the waist here, you want to go ahead and spin that around 180, like that. You pretty much have the front side mostly done. Now the legs, right here, what you want to do, I'm going to take these and bring these back on these hinges. There's hinges right here. You want to bring the side skirts back on those hinges like so. Let's get those up on the way. They're probably going to be in the way a little bit here and there. But take the front skirts and just lift those up like that. Just kind of have them like that. I find that's the easiest way to do things. Now, with the legs, there's a panel right here. I want to untab that and bring it out like this. It's on a double hinge. You can see that and bring it out like that. Now here, I'm going to take the foot here and rotate it inward like that. Bring this foot out right here. You want to position this right. There's a point right here. You want to position this bit right, and you want to get that so that it can rotate 180. Getting the right position is a little difficult. Rotate the 180 like that. On mine, these are also really stiff. I had to put some silicone oil in there just to get those to be able to move without scary. They're so scary tight. Yeah, you do that right here. Then you go ahead right here to keep rotating this around and rotate it here like so. Collapse the toe in. There's a double hinge in there. You just collapse the toe up like this. You can bring this back and down and then actually rotate it back up that way. I rotated it the wrong way. Yeah, rotate it up like that. That'll be like that. And then you go ahead and collapse the leg up. You can see that it collapses up like that. And then this right here this tab right here will go into this slot. There's a slot right here. It'll go into like that. And then this right here, there's a tab here, which will go into that slot right there. That's like that. You just bring the foot down right here and rotate it forward so it looks like that. You also want to rotate this around like this, like that. That's one leg done. Now pretty much the same thing on the other leg. Untab this, bring it back on this double hinge, like so. Foot here, you want to go ahead and rotate like this. And then bring this foot out. Again, angle it such a way that you can actually rotate it here. This little joint right here, rotate that right there. And then get this rotated right here, like that. Bring it up and collapse the toe up, like so. Bring it back like that. Bring this around and rotate it so it's, foot's facing forward. Collapse this leg up. Close up this panel, tab that in, tab this in, rotate this around, and you go ahead and bring these together. There's tabs on the insides of the legs, which will tab together, like so. And then right here, you want to go ahead and bring this down, and there's little pegs on the tops of these bits, which will go up in these little bits, and there's slots on here, which will go over these tabs right here. Getting those all squared away at once can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes, especially if this doesn't fold out right. All squared away at once. And tab that in, peg those in, and then make your fine adjustments, to the legs and whatnot. Get that all squared away. And there you go. There's Rhimini in his alt mode. Yeah, it's a nice looking rhino guy. You get, again, mostly red. You got lots of gold now, on the sides. You got that. You got a little tiny tail with a bit of red there too. Again, more tampos, whatnot. Looks pretty good. The only thing is, I would complain about is this neck right here. Just kind of, it doesn't tab in or anything. It just kind of rests in there, and it's also because of how the hinges work. If you mess with the mouth a bit, the neck will kind of come with the mouth. You have to constantly correct that. It's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. Also, you can kind of get one of the guns on there. There's this square peg here will fit in that, but that's pretty much the extent of it. You can't get the sword. As far as I can tell, there's nowhere for the sword to go. There's as far as I can tell anyway. Maybe somewhere, but I don't know. I don't see anywhere personally, but yeah. Maybe I'm just blind. But yeah. You can do that, which is kind of like the old, I believe that's, yeah, I know the Power of the Primes version did the whole thing with the cannons on the back, but yeah, I'm not sure if the G1 version did or not. Yeah, that's one thing you can do. Yeah, looks really good overall. I really like it. It's, again, very nice red. I like this shade of red here they're using. Articulation, the mouth can open and close, and that's what I mean. You open the mouth, and then you close it up, and the gold neck piece will come with it, so that's a little annoying. Again, doesn't like... So that's the thing. Also, the head can, again, the neck piece will come with it, but the head is on a ball joint and a stock, so you kind of like, you go left and, rotate left and right and look up and down a bit. Side to side, tiny amount, but you get kind of a lot of sculpting in the way of that. Shoulder, these are pretty much the robot arms, so you got, they're pretty much this much range forward and back because it starts banging into stuff. Actually, you can just squeeze past and go all the way up there. You still have the same outward. Still have the knee. Well, now it's a knee. You got that, which again, well, kind of bangs into things a bit. The feet are on, there's a hinge right here. There's a ball joint at the foot itself. So you got left and right and up and down and tilting and all that stuff. Yeah, all that is there. There's nothing really at the waist because it all locks together. The hind legs do have forward and back there. These kind of double jointed so you can adjust the angles and stuff. Rotation is kind of there, but it's a little limited due to just sculpting. So you got a little bit of rotation, and down here you do have again a hinge right here, and then this is on a ball joint, so you got left and right and tilting and up and down and all that. And then here at the tail you have a hinge at the base of the tail. You have a hinge at the base of the tail. You have a hinge right here to go side to side, and another hinge at the red bit so it can go up and down right there as well. So yep, that's the alt mode articulation. And again, it looks really nice. It cleans up really well, and I do genuinely like how it looks. There you go. So real quick comparisons again with his teammates. Here's Rhimini. Again, the wingspan is just enormous. And Land-Mini, which again, I feel like Rhimini here has a better transformation overall than Land-Mini. Land-Mini I think is has the weakest transformations because it's just a little frustrating. Although I've gotten a lot better at it. Again, I also did add some silicone oil to those joints, so now those move a lot better than they used to. But yep, there you got all that. So there you go. So that's the alt mode. Now we'll go ahead and go to the combined mode, which isn't too difficult for the most part. First thing, you want to untap this, bring that up, and then just fold the tail away like that, and then bring it back down, and you'll tab it all back in and peg it in right there and everything too. Right? That's done. Now, here, what you want to do is you want to untab these bits right here, rotate them up and around, and you kind of get those out of the way. You want to rotate them up and around. They're kind of supposed to sit like this and then somewhat, apparently, according to the directions, kind of collapse in a bit to the, it's supposed to kind of collapse in and kind of sit like that, apparently, at least if I'm interpreting instructions properly. Although you're kind of supposed to leave this kind of weird because they get caught in all this stuff too in the process. But yeah, apparently it's supposed to just kind of sit here like that. If I'm interpreting correctly, like just kind of sit up here like that. And you bring that back in. Then you untap these bits right here, and they just kind of sit like this, like that. They'll just sit like that. Now down here, the hooves. So these you want to go ahead and bring these up, bring these out like this, and bring this up like this, like that. And then they take this hoof and you want to rotate 180 degrees and just kind of lay it flat like that. It's going to look more or less like this when it's done. Same thing here, just kind of bring it up like so, bring this around, and then rotate this and rotate it up like that, or like this, so and then just collapse it up. Like so. Just collapse it up like that. And these you just go ahead and just fold them right here. And then the hooves here, you want to bring them down and rotate them 90 degrees so they look like that. And then right here, do the same thing, rotate it down, rotate, and then just sits like that. And then finally this part, you want to go ahead and collapse the little neck piece up like that. Bring this out, rotate it around, and then just bring it forward like that. And finally, you take the foot piece, and there's little rails right here, little thing right there, and then just slot it in. You kind of have to bring it in at an angle and up. And also notice you kind of have to, yeah, that's a problem sometimes, which is it doesn't like to go over really easily, which is weird. But yeah, get it up in there and then slide it up on the rail, and there you go. There's your leg. Get that all sorted. Yep, that sure is a leg. All right. I mean, it's, you know, Rhino turned into a box essentially, but yeah, it's a shin, I guess. But you know, yeah, it's not a hard transformation. It doesn't take too much to get here. I can feel like, again, with the feet, I feel like the instructions right here make things way more complicated than they really need to be for the feet and legs here. But they're really not that bad, and it's just honestly, it's a fine transformation. It works pretty well, and you know, again, you got this block, and I'll just show this one comparison off with, you know, Land Mini. Won't bring Rhimini in for combined mode because that's just silly. Yeah, you know. You'll connect right there, you know, those rails and everything. I already know how they connect because I've already tutorial anyway showing up already. But there you go. Yep, leg mode, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to get to. Not too difficult. Yeah, most of the difficulty for transformation is going from robot to Rhino or back, and even that, it's not too difficult as long as you know what you're doing. So yeah, again, a fairly solid figure. I actually like this one quite a bit more than the other two, I think, just because probably mostly because it's a transformation, honestly. It's just, I feel like it flows really well, but it's not like it's too, I feel like Rhimini's a little too simple, but like Land Mini's a little annoying, but it feels like he's just in that right sweet spot for me, at least anyway. So that's pretty much what pushes it over the edge, and that's why he's my favorite so far. So yeah, recommend picking him up if you like this stylized take on the Predacons and whatnot. So yeah, he's about $60 domestic. You can get him a bit cheaper if you buy from like Show Z or whatever. Not a bad price. Maybe a little spendier than I'd like, but not too bad. So there you go. That's it for this one. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my various social media. They're on the link tree now, down in the description and whatnot. And check out my Coffee and my Patreon. I'll see you next time with another video review.